It was my first year of university. I had just finished unpacking all my things in my room, and my family had already left. That evening, my roommate finally arrived. From the very first look, I could tell this guy was extremely socially awkward. I said, "Hey, I'm Dan," and stretched out my hand for a handshake. He first looked at my hand as if he didn't understand what I was doing, then gave a weird laugh and shook my hand with the weakest dead fish grip I had ever felt. He didn't even bother to tell me his name. I had to ask. His name was Dale. I tried to make some small talk, but his answers were limited to just yes or no. Sometimes he gave an awkward smile or a forced laugh. Within minutes, we were both sitting on our beds, laptops open, not talking to each other. Right then, I thought about requesting a different roommate. Anyone would be better than Dale. At first, I thought he was just a little awkward, but soon I realized he was much stranger than that. On the very first night, when I came back after walking around campus, Dale was still sitting in the same position I had left him in. I said, "What's up, Dale?" But as expected, he didn't reply. Around 9:30, I turned off the light and tried to sleep. Dale stayed on his laptop until 3 a.m. As soon as he finally shut it, I drifted off, but within an hour, I woke up again. The blinds of the room were now open, and moonlight was shining inside. In that light, I saw Dale sitting on the edge of his bed, just staring at me. Shocked, I sat up and said, "Dale, what the hell are you doing?" He whispered, "Sorry," and laid down again. The next morning, I saw that Dale had already left the room, maybe for the first time. It was orientation day, and everyone was walking around the campus. While passing by the gardens, I overheard two students saying, "What is that kid doing in there?" I looked and saw Dale sitting in the dirt behind some bushes, rubbing the bark of a tree with his hands. The orientation leader didn't notice. Otherwise, I'm sure she would have stopped him. I quietly walked past, later telling the two students that he was my roommate, just to start a conversation. They felt sorry for me, and we all laughed about it. That night, we even made plans to hang out. When I returned to my dorm, I found that the school had already arranged a new roommate for me. I felt so relieved. That evening, when I went out to meet my new friends and came back, Dale was sitting in the desk chair, facing the door. I said, "Oh, hey, what's up?" He flatly replied, "Nothing." I sat on my bed, opened my laptop, and immediately noticed that all my emails and folders were open. Dale must have gone through my computer. I asked him, "Did you open my laptop?" He shouted, "No," barely half a second after I finished asking. His reaction made it obvious he was lying. Later, when I checked my bag, I noticed my clothes had been moved around too. I didn't say anything since I knew I'd be getting a new roommate the next day. But that night, I woke up in the middle of my sleep to the sound of a zipper. I turned on my lamp and saw Dale crouched on the floor, going through my bag. When I confronted him, he said, "I thought you accidentally took my toothbrush." That was the closest thing to a clever excuse I had ever heard from him, but I knew it was nonsense. The next day, I officially moved in with my new roommate and felt like I had escaped Dale. But the story didn't end there. On the third night, I woke up again to a strange clicking noise. At first, I thought it might be the floorboards or even a mouse. But then I realized the sound was coming from just outside the door. When I looked through the peephole, I saw someone standing there with their head bowed. And the clicking? It was coming from the doorknob. Someone was trying to unlock it. I immediately called campus police. Within 5 minutes, they arrived. Only then did I open the door and saw Dale in handcuffs. I told them everything. How he had been my old roommate, how he went through my belongings, and now how he was trying to break into my new room. After that, I never saw Dale again. I don't know if he was suspended for a semester or expelled completely. The rest of my years at university went by normally, but the terrifying experience with Dale still creeps back into my mind from time to time, sending a chill down my spine.